Welcome to a new series from DriversPay, and I'm with Andy Baxter, Technical Director.
Hi, good morning.
And we're going to talk today about the way you're revolutionising the cab office and how the drivers actually pay into the system. So what happens today in a typical cab office?
Typically, drivers are still out there collecting cash, and there's something in the industry called a settle or a rent day, and once a week the drivers would come in and pay money into the office. It's an extremely laborious process. The cash is coming in, it's got to be counted, it's then got to be sent up into the dispatch system so that everybody knows what's going on. We fully automate that system. We collect the cash for the company and we allow drivers to carry on working without even coming into the office anymore. We save taxi companies hours and hours and hours on manual cash collection.
And what about the day-to-day interactions between a driver that is owing money? Are there disputes that really bog down the office? Is that a normal practice?
I think the general rule of thumb is that if you've got to pay something and you can cry about it, then you might get off with something. Yeah. And what we do is we do away with that as well. The machine says no, computer says no, come in and pay, or pay over our app, and it's done.
Okay, so how do we get a handle then on the money that is owed by a driver? Where do we start?
So effectively what we do is to force, if the question is to force, how do we force the driver to pay? There's a certain time in the week where our system locks the driver off and stops them from being able to get work. When they achieve a required balance, we automatically lock them back on. Whereas before they would come into the office and complain, now it's just done automatically and they come and they do pay.
Okay, so I'm the owner of a cab firm. How can I start to see what is owed and the current sort of outstandings?
So we've using APIs, we interact with their dispatch system. We provide a very simple way for our customers to get an overview of the health of the company finance, what's owed in and what's owed out.
So let's have a look at the interface, the dashboard that the owner would use.
Okay, so this is Fusion. Each company has their own Fusion logged in. What you get initially is a full list of your drivers. You get to know the driver reference that's in the system. You get the balance that the driver owes as well, and whether they're actually working or not working within the dispatch system. What you can do is you can cycle through. So the taxi company, this guy obviously, Steven Spielberg, works for this company. He does a lot of account work. The taxi company owe him £709. Yes. But the taxi company also has drivers that owe them money. Right. And this is the number. To get that out of the dispatch system, there's probably 7 or 8 presses. We just show it instantly here. But if you look at driver 5, we can do a search option as well. Driver 5's me. I'm switched off because I owe £37.40.
Right, okay.
If I pay by app or I go and pay in the kiosk, it will automatically log me back on so that I can go and then work in the dispatch system. Okay. It's as simple as that. We have a lockout for the entire company. So Thursday at 12 o'clock, anybody that doesn't have a balance of 0 or less will be automatically locked off.
Right, okay.
And that's the beauty of this. It's such a simple thing. Yeah. We also have a penalty. In the penalty, what some companies do is 15 minutes after the drivers have been locked out, they get a £12 penalty or a £5 or a £10. It just encourages them that little bit quicker to get in and pay. And we also have another little issue within the taxi industry. When you go back to a driver, I'll just edit this gentleman here. We have drivers that owe us money. The guy could owe us an absolute fortune, he might have crashed a car. So what we say is, every week I want you to bring your debt down by £50, and that will do that for us as well. So all the money that's owed in is taken by us and managed by us and sent straight to the company's bank.
So we've talked about the way that they can pay. We'll have a look at the kiosk in a minute.
Yeah.
But the other options that you've got today and the ones that you're building in the future, what do those look like?
So we have an app for Apple and Android, and we also have card facilitation as well. We partnered with FreedomPay and Elevon, which are 2 huge banks. They put a lot of trust in us because this is new. We're really excited because that way makes it even more automated. We have a kiosk as well for your old school drivers that still want to pay money. We want our customers to be able to accept money from anywhere, from any method, because that's the way the world is. You know, taxi drivers are strange old folk sometimes. I used to be one. Some will not pay by card, some will not pay by cash. So we just want you to get from everything.
Yeah. So Andy, can we have a look at the app in action?
Yeah, each of our customers gets an app. It's available on Android and on iPhone. Driver opens the app up, taps to begin. It tells them the name of the company they work for, their name. The driver pin is the same as the pin in the dispatch system. They just go in then and tap in the 4 or 5 digit code. In they go, it tells them how much they actually owe. Once they press pay, it asks them how much they want to pay, go away and pay. That's done. That's within the system in minutes, and the taxi company then gets paid that money within 24 hours from the banking.
So this all integrates with their back-end systems?
Yeah, it's fully integrated into the dispatch system, whether the drivers pay into the kiosk, whether they pay by card, whether they pay by app, whether they come in and pay by cheque. It all goes into the back end of the system and it's all cleared out, ready for the checks and accountings at the end of the week. Yeah.
Okay, can we have a look at the hardware, the kiosk?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So this is the machine for cash lovers. Give us a run through then, Andy, of how easy it is to operate.
Okay. The interface on this is extremely similar to the one on the app. Tap to begin, enter the driver's ID and the passcode. That takes you out to the back end, tells the driver how much they owe, pay cash. Once it gets, you complete the payment, that's all done. Driver's now logged back on in the system, ready to go to work.
So Andy, we're just seeing the notes and coins going in, and there's a problem on the streets with counterfeit money. How good is the technology that you've got here to stop the use of counterfeit coins and notes?
We've gone to source our equipment from Electromech, which Rob, one of the owners of Electromech, is the governor of the Bank of England. They guarantee that these machines will not take counterfeit notes. If they do, they'll give it you back, plus some more.
Okay, and another question closely allied is the security of the machines. I mean, obviously, we're all aware of the stories in newspapers with people using forklift trucks to steal cash machines.
Exactly.
Do you have the same problem with DriversPay?
Our machines are not outward-facing machines because the taxi industry is a closed shop. These are usually inside a building.
Right.
So you would have to literally drive one all the way through the wall to get it. Saying that, it's then got 4 separate locks and 4 bolts bolting it to the floor. So it's going to take you some time to get in.
Yeah, enough time for the police to get there.
I would hope so, yeah.
Yeah. And what are the next steps in terms of evolving the DriversPay kiosk? Because I think you've gone through at least a couple of iterations in terms of design. So where are we at today and where are you going over the next 12 months?
I think hardware-wise, the kiosk is pretty much as good as it's going to get. We don't really need to do anything to it other than once we get the card machines on there as well. I think once that gets done, it's perfect. We really have worked hard to get it to where it is. I'm quite happy with it now.
What about contactless?
The problem with contactless in our industry is that it only goes up roughly to about £30.
Oh, right, okay.
So, moreover, they're paying more than that. A driver wouldn't come into the office and use a card machine if they've got the app anyway. So if they've got the card, they would put it in the app and use it that way.
Perfect. Well, Andy, it's been a really good tour. I think this is the future of DriversPay for sure. So thanks very much for that.